Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. Oh boy, did y'all catch that? Right? Between May and BGS. Oh boy. Wow. Miss May. Okay. So I don't know the backstory. We're just gonna put it out there. I don't know the backstory about her going onto Edge channel. I don't know. That was interesting hearing BGS kind of throw in her face that she made some type of penis reference or something like that, right? So okay, cool. Um, so remember, everyone, this is supposedly a woman with a master's degree, right? Miss May is supposedly a woman with a master's degree. Um, Very interesting. Her language and the way she spoke. A bit of classism in there, a bit of elitism, right? We're not essentially we're not all ghetto. We're not all ghetto. Black women are not all ghetto, right? Of course, that type of language, right? So we get a hint of Ebony K. Williams and Kim Foster. By the way, I'm foreshadowing by mentioning Kim Foster. Um, yeah, this was a very needed conversation. Shout out to BGS. Oh boy. Oh boy. BGS just schooled everyone on how you are supposed to debate these type of people, right? So let me go through some of my favorite quotes. Y'all go ahead and give me my props when y'all use my quotes on different people's pages, right? First, the internet will expose us all. Exhibit A. And secondly, let them talk. Exhibit A, right? Right? Exhibit A. Oh boy. Oh boy. Right? So, once again, like I said before, this young lady is supposedly married. She supposedly has a college degree. I wanted to bring up one of the most glaring examples of what BGS was speaking about, and it may missed it because she was so hyped up in the conversation. First, when she kept on speaking about upper middle class, and BGS asked her to define upper middle class, and you could see she just threw that out there. She didn't actually have an answer, so she was trying to pontificate and talk around it. And BGS made a very the question was a rhetorical question to prove to her that she didn't know what she was talking about. What was the question? BGS asked Sauchi to answer the question, and without fail, masterful job, Sauchi. Sauchi understood the assignment. Sauchi answered the question perfectly without a hiccup. Oh yeah, so when she's like 100,000, she tried to throw that out mid Sauchi answering the question. She tried to then answer because now she realized what was going on. Too late. Sauchi, oh yeah, so it's somewhere between 250, $300,000. Da 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 da. Exactly. BGS gave you a chance to answer the question. You could not answer the question. Sauchi answered the question without a problem, without a hiccup. And that, everyone, is the difference between how men answer questions and how women answer questions. You saw that. That was there for everyone to see. Sauchi was in the mix. Sauchi was part of the conversation. And when BGS asked you to answer your own statement, you're the one who brought up upper middle class. You could not. He then turns around without warning. Sauchi didn't have any warning, and asked Sauchi to answer the question, and without fail, quick, fast, hurry, blink, and he answered it. My apologies, everyone. I know I went out for a second. But yeah, like I was saying, without fail, Sauchi was able to answer that question without a problem. Right? Without a problem, Sauchi was able to answer the definition of upper middle class without blink, right? And that to me that set the tone for the rest of the conversation when BGS dropped everyone down. But that set the tone because it showed everyone what this really was. Now, the theme of this conversation is antagonizing. Like I said before when I mentioned Kim Foster, that I was foreshadowing. Let's get right to it. Kim Foster was the other person who mentioned black men antagonizing. They're slowly not being able to say punch down. Shout out and pat yourself on the back, Black Manosphere. Years of work. They can't keep on claiming the moral high ground anymore. Train tracks, train tracks, train tracks. They can't claim punching down anymore. Years of work. That's us, Black Manosphere. Because we kept on throwing in their faces, yeah, you can't claim the moral high ground. You're not trying to be moral. You're trying to solidify your power and get black men to shut the hell up and play their role. So when you say antagonizing, what you really mean is shut up and play your role. Stop talking. Bow down. Kiss the ring. Get on your knees. Antagonizing is, will you shut up and play your role, you ConcuSurf? Why are you talking? Shut up and make me a sandwich. Let's be very clear who's telling who to make a sandwich in the black community. Right? And now that we've done such a masterful job at defending our image, now they're being honest. Okay, fine. We can't say punching down. Okay, you're antagonizing us. And BGS was able to do that in that conversation. She said punching down. He walked her down on that conversation, and she finally had to say antagonizing. And when she said antagonizing, I was like, right there. Who else said antagonizing? Kim Foster. For Harriet herself. Exactly. Exactly. In other words, shut up about your complaints. We don't want to hear it. Yeah, y'all right. So what? And shut up. Be the good little ConcuSurf. Yeah, we above you. Yeah, white supremacy put us above you. And know your role. Oh, don't worry about it. They're going to slowly admit it more and more, louder and louder. Right? They'll slowly admit it louder and louder. Right? Oh, it was beautiful. And shout out to BGS, masterful job. Absolutely. And that's not the first time he walked her down and she was like, oh, okay. You're right. And she chuckles because he outmaneuvered her. That's why I say let them talk. Let them talk. For those of us that are skilled enough, you'll slowly walk them down. That's why these women don't go on the BGS channel. That's why Chrissy don't go. That's why even Kim Foster don't go. You think Obsidian couldn't have done that to Kim Foster? Y'all saw when he spoke to the lady from what, Rolling Stone? And Kim Foster's Ivy League educated. What that mean? That's why they don't go to our channels. That's why they don't come out on our channels. You think Mr. Z couldn't do that to Yanni? What's the most important part? And so I told you guys what I thought was important, but the most important part of this conversation was the black women like it the way it is type comment that she made. And I'm gonna quote it exactly in a minute. I'm on the expressway right now. And by the way, excuse my background in advance. You know, y'all gonna hear some noise in a little bit, and you know that's just Mr. Z shuffling and moving about and living his life. But oh yeah, when she finally admitted, yeah, the black women like it this way, and that's why it's not changing. Exactly. Oh yeah, exactly. And thank you for admitting it. Now we can have the conversation about why there's passport bros. Shout out to BGS for saying it. Y'all want the gynocracy, y'all got it. You want the leadership, you got it. And you're not making it work for everyone, so your men are leaving. She tried to do the shit, and look at when she got triggered. The white women conversation. Oh, the myth of white womanhood always triggered him. White women do it too. White women are not great. Exactly. Right? Exactly. Right? Huh. Right? BGS said what Mr. Z says. Y'all want the power, y'all got it. So what do you do with the men that don't want female leadership? Uh-oh. You know, those elite men. Ooh, goddamn. What they're admitting is the project was always to get men to pay for their freedom from you. Let me make sure I say this because this was part of the conversation. The goal has always been to get elite men, the rich black men, the well-off black men, to pay for women to be free from every black man. Ooh, goddamn, Mr. Z. That's always been the goal. That's always the shaming tactic. Pay me to be with you until I don't want to be with you, and then pay me my severance package away from you in this slavery that's being with you. How dare you pay other women to be with you? That's what this is about, right? Oh, beautiful. And thank you for admitting it, right? Thank you for admitting what this really is and what you're really on. Dear black men, now you know. If you didn't know before, now you know. If you were confused before, no need to be confused now, right? This young lady showed you what it's really about. And remember, master's degree. She went up there to defend black women's image, a certain class of black women. But at the end of the day, what it really is why can't y'all just accept y'all role as the ConcuServe? What Cartman said, respect my authority. Respect my authority. That's what black women are really saying. They don't care about your income. They don't care about your class. They don't care about your wealth. They don't care about your height. They don't care about your looks. They don't care about your physical prowess, your penis size, your six pack, your bald head, your crisp tape line, your beard, your dreads, your fade. They don't care about any of that. Respect my authority. They're angry that you have the unmitigated gall to attempt to leave the black matriarchy if you want to be kind, gynocracy if you want to be accurate. How dare you, black men? Take these handful of crumbs that we might flick off the table from what white people are flicking off the table from us, or for us, better yet. We'll pick and choose from the men that we want to make mandingo, the men we want to live off of, the men we want to make, whatever we want to make them. We'll pick and choose, and then all the rest of you get to be, stepdaddy number 3, 4, 5. Cleanup man number 3, 4, 5. Once again, masterful job, BGS, for bringing up the tangle of pathology, because she tried to make it a class conversation. This is not a class conversation. Right? And Detroit, thank you for the super chat. And Detroit said, Mr. Z, what you think about AM1 and addressing the space? I haven't seen it yet. Let me check out. Let me do my research and see what he said. And I haven't checked it out yet. Right? I didn't even know that there was a conversation. So we'll check it out, and I'll be able to give you a more concise, in-depth answer after I check out what you're talking about. I'm not gonna, yeah. You asking me the question almost gives me an answer of what I think he might have said, or what direction, better yet, what direction he might have went on. But obviously, I don't know. So let me do my Googles, right? And yeah. But yeah, oh, this is great. Oh, this is great, right? And y'all give me a second when I get to when I can actually stop, and I'll be able to read off my points and get that out. But it's great, right? She told us what she really thinks. And this is a great representation of what black women really think, right? Of what black women really think. So also, one thing that throwing the throwing the INCELS word around, there's a reason why I'm not saying it, I'm spelling it out. Throwing that out there without knowing the definition. Good job, BGS, in asking her to define it and her not actually having an answer. Right? Throwing it out there as an insult when you don't know what it is. Wow. It literally has a definition. It's two words made into one. But all y'all know that as is like a insult to fling at men, particularly black men in this space. No, it actually has a definition. And the majority, the vast majority of the black manosphere is nowhere near that. Once again, shout out to BGS for actually backing her into a wall also with asking her pretty much what's the difference, why do we allow black women to rail on about their heartbreaks with black men and we shame black men in doing it. Because she essentially was trying to say black men are being loud and obnoxious, and I'm glad she kept on bringing up antagonize. Shut up about our mistreatment of you. Shut up about our sexism. Shut up about our misleadership. Now that we have established that black women lead the black community, shut up about our misleadership. Shut up about our misdirection of resources. Shut up about it. When they say antagonize, now y'all know what they really mean. That's why I say let them talk. That's why I say the internet will expose us all. Here you go. Exhibit A and B. Right? Shut up about the real. Right? Masterful job, BGS. So I don't know if this young lady has ever heard of Kim Foster, but for her to use the same word, antagonize. I don't want us to miss that they're now saying antagonize. Because they don't have anything else. We did that. They don't have any, they can't say punch. The knowledgeable ones, the ones that know they can't use it anymore, they can't say punch down. Because let's be very clear, train tracks. We've established black women are above black men in this society. Fine, own that. So what do you mean punching down? That means you have officially forfeited the moral high ground. And there you go. Now that that's gone, right? Now that that's gone, now what? Right? When she says we do have control issues, very important comment. Right? When she admits that black women have control issues. Right? Like I said, so they want black men to accept the matriarchy if you want to be kind, the gynocracy if you want to be accurate. And it took and BGS had to pull teeth to get her to accept or to get her to admit that black women have control issues. Black women want the control of the matriarchy. They just don't want us to call it a matriarchy or a gynocracy. Because then they forfeit moral high ground. Then they have to admit that they're the ones who's mismanaging the black community. Then they have to admit they actually kind of sort of like it the way it is. They don't like to be embarrassed, but they like the power dynamic. And what's embarrassing? The passport bros. What's embarrassing? SYSBM. What's embarrassing? The Black Manosphere. Right? Because with the passport bros could have not been on the internet and not been being sued out. You know why they would still have a problem with the passport bros? Because just your presence in other nations, it say people are, well, why are these black men traveling to other nations to look for relationships? The answer is in the question. The answer is in the question. SYSBM, the answer is in the question. So let's go through it. Between divestors, swirlers, the Cynthia G types, the Kim Foster types, right? The Chrissy types, the Khadijah types, we get to where we are now. And the Miss May types. We could stop asking the questions on why black men, black women relationships don't work. Black women want the power without any of the responsibility for the mismanagement. Now that we have that established, they have no argument. It's done. And even Miss May said it. It's done. Black women do not want to give up the power. Rewind to the clip BGS played of the brothers and the sisters speaking. What that was in the 70s, where the lady said, "Y'all we're not. Y'all can't take the power, or y'all don't want to take the power. Fine then. Brothers are not going to fight y'all for the power, so y'all could rule over the ishpal that is the current black community, the current gynocratic led black community, and black men will build with black women that want to be with black men, and that will deal with black men's leadership, and it will accept black men's leadership, and build with non-black women and black women from the diaspora." There you go. Right? And have fun trying to get non-black men to adhere to the gynocratic order. Have fun with that. Right? Have fun with that. And as BGS said, if this is gynocracy, if you're the leader, then make the gynocracy work for everyone. But they can't. Because every time they look, the brothers with some resources, not all the time, not even most of the time, but enough of a minority date out and marry out, and black women can't take it. But why would men with resources and choices and options want to be stuck in a black situation where the women run things? Wait a minute, I'm supposed to pay for you to dictate to me? So let's get this right. Let me get this right. I'm supposed to be Mr. Six-Figure Man, Mr. Seven-Figure Man, pay all the bills for you to run this house? So you run this house on my dime. So I'm ConcuSurf, Paymaster, and you're dictator off of my dime. And understand that's really the complaint. We slowly getting them to admit it, black men. Dear Black Manosphere, we're slowly getting them to admit it. Where you at, FD Signifier? That, if y'all notice, I want you to go back. His second appearance on Bernard Riley, somebody brought up matriarchy, and he said there's nothing inherently wrong with a matriarchy. And I think and I'm not trying to put words in BGS's mouth. I think BGS agrees with that. But here's the problem. FD will never admit that black women want to lead. They just hate the responsibility. They hate how ugly it looks that their purposely mismanaging funds, mismanaging resources, directing it to their girls, and then all they got for their sons is shaming language. Sign language. Shame, insults, the guilt, and the need to be right. That's what they got for their sons. Now y'all understand the Brookings Institute article that said 70% of boys born into black boys born into upper middle class situations then sink down because their mothers and the women in the community are not investing into them. Right? Now you understand that. It only took a decade of the Black Manosphere, and they're finally saying it. Slowly but surely. Chrissy's kind of saying it. Kim Foster straight out said antagonize. This young lady straight out said antagonize. Miss May. Right? They're straight up saying, yeah, we want the leadership. Right? They're straight up saying, yeah, I make money, you need to make more. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh. Dear Black Manosphere, I want y'all to understand something. We needed Ebony K. Williams to show her ass up front of the Black community. Rest in peace, Kevin. Kevin Samuels passing, we needed the Black community to see Black women dancing on his grave in an ugly, disgusting way. Right? We need the Black community. We need the Black community to see Black women hoping for Jamie Foxx's death. Right? We need that. Not for us, but so you could shut the rest of the Black community up. So Dr. Umar don't got nothing else to say. Somebody need to forward this conversation to Dr. Umar, whoever know him. Forward this and insist that he listen to the whole thing. We still know he's gonna pander, of course, but the conversation's done. It's over. Now y'all know Mr. Z gonna still cover the divestors and all the other stuff, but ain't no more talk. What is there else to say? Right? What else is there to say? We do have control issues. And like she said, the young lady said, Black women want their independence. And I add on to that, yes, Black women want their independence off of Black men's dime. Black women want Black men to pay for them to be free from Black men. How that's supposed to work? Wait, you want us to pay you to get piped by white dudes? That's what you're telling us? You want us to pay for you to engage in same-sex relationships with other Black women? That's what you're telling us? You want us to pay for you to frolic in the sun trying to be upper middle class and rich and elite white women? That's what you're telling us? You want us to pay you to turn around and insult us? Wait. You want elite rich Black men to pay for you to look down on poor and working class Black men? And look down on your frenemies and look down on your light skin or racially ambiguous girl cousin that grandma used to treat better. That's what you're trying to say. You want the rich, you want to live delivering us from evil. The scene where LL Cool J has the mayor, I think it was, shake his hand in front of the ex-boyfriend. You want to look down on the ex-boyfriend. And that ex-boyfriend represents 90% of the Black men in the Black community. Sorry, rewind. That ex-boyfriend represents 90% of Black people in the Black community. right? And Miss May's exact comment, if I'm not mistaken, was black men are not seen as priority because it's working for women. Let's say that again. Black men are not seen as as the priority because it's working for black women, and that's what done done. Now, by the way, we've heard the sisters from um the breakdown. We've heard them say this also, right? Miss May is not the first person to say this. But dear Chrissy, that's it. Dear Paris, that's it. Dear Yanni, that's it. Dear Cynthia G, that's it. It's done. Lexus Exis, wherever you are in the neo-Nazi camp, wherever you are, it's done. Shira 7, it's done. And like the young lady, I caught what she was trying to say. Oh, Shira 7 is teaching these women to these black women to fake with y'all. Y'all want us to be like them white women. I caught what she was really saying. I heard it. Shira 7 is teaching them how to fake. Translation: Shira 7 is teaching black women how to be, what's that word? And she's really not, by the way. Shira 7 is not. But going off of what she says, she's teaching them how to not be complete a-holes walking in the door. She's teaching how to fake like them white women do for y'all. Ew. Y'all want us to fake. Y'all want us not to curse y'all out and be Klingons from the jump. Fine. Ew. But okay. Shira's teaching us how to fake in front with y'all because that's what y'all like. How not to bark on y'all because that's what y'all like. Huh. And KW Don, thank you for the super chat. And KW Don says, and matriarchy cannot defeat a patriarchy. Right? Huh. Very, very, very important. It's shout out to BGS for getting these quotables. Right? Black women want their independence. We do have control issues. Antagonize. Right? Her not being able to answer the definition of what upper middle class is. Her not knowing what incel is, but using it as an insult. Right? The white women do it too. White women are going to take you for half too. What do black women do in divorce with black men of means? So are you just saying you jealous that the white women get to divorce black men and break them? You could just come out and say it. Right? And we're going to take a commercial break real quick. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Give Mr. Z 1 minute. Give Mr. Z 1 minute, y'all. So back. So this conversation was important, and shout out to Charles and everybody else that was on the panel. But BGS dropping her down was super important. That was super important for him to slowly walk her down, right? She wanted to spar, but she wasn't ready. She wasn't truly ready, right? She wasn't truly ready. And this is not just about intellectual sparring. This is Black women's thought process. Remember, master's degree Black woman married. Master's degree Black woman married with child. With child. And excuse my background if it's a little windy, everyone. Right? So that's what's important. Right? And look at her thought process. She just wants Black men to stop talking. Right? And remember, she initially called, but BJS, yeah, you're a healer, and essentially, like, why aren't you just telling these Black men to shut up? Just deal with whatever they're dealing with Black women, and just like let Black women go or shut up. Because what she initially went on to tell BGS is, hey, you're not doing your job. You seem like a pretty good man, a pretty solid man, but you're not doing your job. Your job isn't to tell to open Black men's eyes up to Black women's effery. It's to tell Black men that it's all their fault. To essentially pull a Dr. Umar Johnson. That's your job. And why aren't you doing that as a quotes healer? And why are you hanging around with that obsidian character? Right? You feel me? Indigo Flow, and Indigo Flow says everybody's supposed to use their freedom of speech except for us. Exactly. Exactly. And that's really the argument, isn't it? That's really the argument. Let us go around the entire society speaking ill of you, speaking crap about you, defecating on your image, calling you all type of sexist, misogynist, homophobic, transphobic monsters, chastising you for not being man enough while chastising you for being hypermasculine, right? While chastising you for being too feminine, being too emotional. It doesn't have to make sense as long as it's just the insult, right? Remember, married master's kid, right? And y'all give me a second. Y'all give me 1 second. Talk amongst yourselves.
Mr. Z is still here, you guys. Give me 1 second. Okay, and we're back. We're back. We're back. So it was important to cover this. I really so for me, antagonizing the word antagonize. Once she said antagonize, after BGS was able to back her down from saying punching down. Which, by the way, okay, let's pause right there. Let's address this punching down thing in more detail. So black women have been, if we're going to speak about more modern era, for at least the past 50, 60 years, 40 years if you want to be kind and conservative, black women have been going all around the country speaking about how black men aren't on their level. For if you want to be supremely kind, 40 years, but it's really closer to 50, 60 years. How black men are not on their level in various ways, how they could go get them a white man, they should date. All this crap that you hear from these divestors and swirlers about being too loyal to black men, that black women were pretty much saying that even before Loving versus Virginia. Definitely after. And so for us to be here now, where we finally are getting them to say it on wax, that black men aren't punching down. Now they're saying antagonize, which really means you don't know your place. Stop talking. You on the bottom of the ship, stop talking. Right? Stop talking. Nobody cares about your what were they saying a couple years ago? And I still think they say it every once in a while. Stop giving your unsolicited opinions. Think about the disrespect, right? Of a person of your same race telling you, stop giving your unsolicited opinions about our dynamics. Shut up and listen. Listen to me flame you, insult you, belittle you, condescend to you, and eat that, Ebony K. Williams. Right? And then question your manhood and your masculinity when you respond or you react. Question your sexuality when you respond or you react to my verbal tirade. Right? Think about that. And the toxic masculinist, thank you for the super chat. And he says, give me 1 second. Here's one for you, Mr. Z. They would rather be right than get it right, brother. But I've said this before. They'd rather be the queens of the ish pile than play what they see as second fiddle in a black male leader situation. And I'm kind of ripping this off from Sarge Willie Pete, but yes, most definitely, if they can't be behind the steering wheel of the Ferrari, then they don't care what type of and diamond encrusted passenger seat you put them in. They don't care that we're driving in a Ferrari. If they're not driving, they don't care. And I want the black manosphere to understand this. There is nothing wrong with that. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that, except they don't want to accept the consequences. You want this, you got it. You want it, you got it.
Their issue is they don't want to accept the consequences of modern day female empowerment. This is what I said it to Yanni, I said it to Chrissy. Y'all do actually want the power. You just and shout out to Yanni for saying it. I want to be a kept woman in leisure. But yeah, we both got feminine and masculine energy. I want to be a sassy, mean, a-hole, decenter man, but I still want you to make me a kept woman of leisure. Translation, I want my man to be elite so that I can look down on you other O's and you other lonely ass, loser ass black men. I want to feel like how I feel white elite women feel. Feel. I want to live the rich, elite, and upper middle class white woman's life. I feel like they look down their noses at us. They probably do. They most definitely do. And I want to practice some of that too. So I want an elite man, white, black, Latino, or otherwise. But if I'm going to be stuck with you, black men, fine. Black man that puts me in that position. It doesn't matter how much money I make. It doesn't matter what my status is. I need him to make me a woman of leisure so I could do that to other. If oh my God, the orgasm I would have if I could look down on white women and Latina and Asian women. But if I'm sequestered to the black community, then could you at least put me in the position to look down on my cute cousin that grandma treated better? Right? So yeah, brother, they rather be right than get right. Their right is dead ass wrong, but it doesn't matter. And that's what this young lady was essentially telling us. Thank you for the honesty. It took BGS damn near pulling teeth. That honesty didn't come voluntarily, right? But thank you for being honest eventually, right? Thank you for being honest eventually. Miss May represents so many black women, everyone. Remember, supposedly, from what she says, married with a kid and a master's degree. And formerly a teacher, if I'm not mistaken, something like that, some type of educator. She represents so many black women. They just want you to shut up and be the good little ConcuSurf and stop talking about she said 30% of black people are going to get it right. So stop talking about the 70%, so the 70% of women that are loud and wrong, whether they're educated or not. Stop talking about the 70% of women, and these are her numbers. Fine, we'll grant her that. Stop talking about the 70%. That's more than 2/3. 70% of black women who are loud and wrong. And it's very interesting that she said 70% because what's the marriage rate for black women? 8 and 28%? Yep, pretty much 30%. Yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she right. Huh. And she makes it seem like it's just the internet thing. In the beginning, she made it seem like it was just the internet thing. Loud, bitter, angry Negroes on the internet talking crap about black women, punching down on black women. 1 hour later, okay, antagonizing. And there we go. We went from punching down to antagonizing because that's what it's really about. Not accept black men not accepting their role as the ConcuSurf. That's what it's been about. Huh. But the to me, I think the quotable of the night, right? So my favorite quote, was the antagonized quote, but the most important one was the black women aren't going to give up power because it's working for them. They're not going to help black men because it's working for them because they want to stand over black men. They just want black men to accept it and then still pay. Oh, oh. Now that's a joke that writes itself. Pay me to dictate over you and then leave you and take half, like the white women do that I want to be. Pay me to speak about how much white men are better than you and how other men build. Pay me to be loud and wrong and obnoxious and condescending and elitist. Huh. Y'all hear this? I want everybody to remember that the reason why this is important, why Mr. Z goes in on divestors, why I go in on all of these black female academics, essayists, all of these people, is because at the end of the day, this is the mindset. Miss May just showed it. As an educated black woman, she just showed, as a married black woman, if she is to be believed, as a married, educated black woman with a daughter, if I'm not mistaken, right? This mindset is what permit. Okay, fine. I I see what you black men are saying, but can you shut up? Can you shut? You're making us look bad. You're making black women look bad by speaking about our flaws, right? By speaking about how we kind of actually enjoy this power and this leadership. And I guess it's kind of sad that we're hoarding all of the crumbs that white folks are flicking off the table for us, and then all we got for our sons is, well, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Now y'all understand why I told Obsidian what I said to him. These women are super liberal right up until it comes time to talk about your black ass. They're super progressive until it comes time to talk about your black ass. Then they hit you with the pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Kim Foster. They want to do what they want to do. They want to be free and fast and independent, but still want you to pay. They still want rigid patriarchal rules from you, but not the leadership part, the protection provision part. How the hell is that supposed to work? Wait, you live in your own home, I live in my own home, but I pay for your home while you get piped by other dudes? What type of cuckold thing you got going on here? What am I supposed to come and cunnilingus after he? What type of cuckold thing you got going on here? I'm supposed to pay for you to be in same-sex relationships also? Weird ass dominatrix BDSM type thing you got going on. The oppressed often take on the worst characteristics of the oppressor. Y'all remind me who said that one, right? Y'all want to be white women so bad. Elite, rich, wealthy white women so bad that you want black men to pay for you to give black men the middle finger. What? Right? The young lady said it. Miss May said it. Black women want their independence. But then, so what's the complaint? If you want your independence, you can find the black men that will shoot the club up and leave you be. Shoot the club up, leave you with the kid, and leave you be. But your 40 and 50 and $60,000 a year by yourself isn't cutting it. So you need his resources also. But black men have caught on to the fact that you're gonna, if you marry him, divorce him and take half. That's if you. First, the goal is the child support. But if you got to marry him, then divorce him within 5 years and take whatever little money you got. You can take. It won't be half, but get your little child support on, right? But too many black men are catching on to that. Like BGS said in the previous stream, not enough sperm in the sperm bank anymore. I want you to be very honest with what Mr. Z is saying. Yes, there are black women that are throwing fits and closing their legs, but also black men aren't piping black women the way they used to. They throwing a fit because more and more of your sons are. We see the videos coming from the young women off of TikTok. Mr. Z don't even have a TikTok. I see these videos of the young, and these are some cute little chocolate sisters, 16, 17 years old, crying in their parents' car because the boys ain't checking. What y'all think? They heard y'all talking crazy in middle school. They heard y'all talking crazy when y'all were freshmen in ninth grade. They heard y'all talking crazy in 10th grade. The clip BGS played of the teacher speaking to the young ladies and they saying, "Oh yeah, it's good to have a child by yourself." Okay, maybe it's not good, but it shows you strong and independent. Them boys hear that. They hear that at 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm not even going back to when they're toddlers. They hear y'all talking like that. So it's a done deal by 16. If y'all go to a diverse school, it's a done deal by 16, 17. 16, 17, 18 is a done deal. And let's be very clear. It's not that black boys and black men aren't physically attracted to black women and black girls. That is not what Mr. Z is saying. That's why they're not going to Europe to find wives. Black men are not going to Europe to find wives. They're going to Africa. They're going to the Caribbean. They're going to South America. They're going to Southeast Asia. You know, the places with browner and tanner and just straight up dark black women, Latina women, Southeast Asian women, you know, the darker skin tones. Black women have the first pick of black men. Black girls have the first pick of black boys. Y'all get to pick black boys early. Y'all could lock y'all could lock down black boys and black men early. Y'all just choose not to because you don't. As the young lady said, what did Miss May say? Where's the quote? Let's make sure we. Here we go. Black men are not seen as the priority because it's working for black women. And there you go. And there you go. What else needs to be said? And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. What else needs to be said? Black women don't like black men. It's that simple. It's a hard truth to swallow. Black women, as BGS and rest in peace Kevin Samuels have said, low level contempt, low level contempt, and you can't socialize your sons to not see that. That's the problem. Y'all been trying for decades to have the low level of contempt and then socialize your sons to eat that. And Gabrielle Union has two stepsons. One of them bringing a white girl to the prom. I'm sorry, yeah. What? No, yeah. One of them he dates black women too. But the other one, what is he doing? Y'all have access to the boys and the men. Single mother rate over 50%, over 60%, over 70%. Y'all have access to the boys and the men. They're showing you through action how y'all are failing. Huh. Great comment, compassionate. And compassionate says she basically want black. Okay, the comment move. Sorry. She basically want black men to go gentle into the night, into the good night. Let's reread that. Right. This is a great comment. She basically wants black men, quote, to go gentle into the good night, unquote. Keep playing our instruments as the ship sinks like good soldiers surfs. Z, exactly, exactly, right. And D asks where video title which video are you referring to, or did I say something that referenced something, right? Trail animal it, bro. The pigs became the humans, bro. The pigs. Oh, there we go. Yeah, yeah. Can't tell the difference between the pigs and the humans. That's all. And no, black women, we're not calling you pigs before anybody says, "Oh God," right? And here's the kicker, because compassion said, "How effing insulting, man." Um, Let me put it this way. Here's when it gets really ugly. I don't think the average black woman that feels like this can even articulate it. Though I would say the reason BGS was able to even get Miss May to get to this point is because she's not dumb. And he's able to slowly, and she's not as combative as some of the worst. And he's able to slowly walk her to the logical conclusion of this and how this looks. I think your this is Mr. Z's argument. Your average person, not just black, your average human being is just going with the flow of life. Unconsciously just accepting just about everything told to them. Whatever religion they were born into with their parents, that's what they take, right? Whatever their diet is with their parents, that's what they take. Whatever the environment is dictating, that's what they are. I would argue a relative handful, maybe 20% of the human population, push back on some things. 10% fight back. 5% are like, yeah, I'm going in a different direction. 1% are elite enough to actually do some whatever they want in life, whether it's good or bad. And then 0.1% pretty much extorting everybody in whatever the system is, and they're super rich and wealthy. And they say, I don't give a F. I'm gonna make money off of all the messed up things that's going on, and I'll sprinkle $1 or $2 in something good to do something for my conscience. Right? So I would say the average black woman, I said it the other day, and I got some pushback in the comments. Your average black woman actually does love your average black man. Oh yeah, you heard right. Oh yeah, I know. Yep, but with Mr. Z, wait. Yeah, no, you heard right. Just because she loves you don't mean she don't want to dictate over you, right? Just because she loves you don't mean she doesn't want you to play your role beneath her. And I don't mean it in the giggity way either. Just because she loves you doesn't mean she doesn't want you to be paymaster and concuserve, right? What I'm saying is we are articulating things and we're ahead of the curve. If Obsidian said nothing that I've ever agreed with, when he said essentially, I say what I'm saying, and I'll let the facts catch up to me. That right there, because Mr. Z was saying things that Richard Reeves said before of Boys and Men. Because I was already watching his lectures and his interviews for his book Dream Hoarders. And I already made the connect. Okay, well let's take some of your concepts of the top 20%, the upper middle class and above. It's not just the rich and wealthy. That was his argument in Dream Hoarders. It's not just the rich and wealthy. Let's take some of your argument with that and let's mix that in with what's going on with people's intimate and love life and their relationship life. And voila. I took what TYT presented with the data from American Enterprise Institute with 26% of poor Americans are married, 39% of middle class, 56% of upper middle class and above. I took that, thought about the black community and what that actually meant for the black community's numbers. I let the I'm so glad excuse me, not BJ's. I'm so glad Obsidian gave us that. Exactly. Mr. Z already told. I knew the dating divide was a thing before I even knew the book existed. Right? I knew the book. I knew it. That's why I kept. If for those somebody tell Mr. Z, I'm lying. For all of you that been listening to Mr. Z when I first started making myself known, I kept on telling y'all, no, it's not just black women that's on this white man thing. It's women of color. It's not just a black woman thing because it made sense to me. Well, these men went around the planet, raped, pillaged, destroyed, and there's no way black women are the only one looking at them longingly. Oh, the magical white phallus. Oh, right. So Mr. Z mixed his personal experiences with conversations I had with women back in college, back when I used to work at the law office, right? Now that I'm blue collar, mix that with the facts and the history, right? What we're living contemporarily with, this hyper materialism, all the media that's been going on in the country for the past 3 4 decades, neoliberalism, late stage capitalism, right? You mix all that in the gumbo pot and you got voila, this mess you call Western society, where women of color are some way backwards, backsliding and moonwalking right into the white supremacy they claim that they fight against, but yet they're chastising the men of their respective races for not being the white man, but then wanting to be with the white man, but then chastising the white man. You get what's her face? The Indian that I bring up all the time, Mindy Kaling, literally like low key insulting white male patriarchy, but she can't keep the white man's penis out her mouth. I keep on telling you, black women are just the loudest about it because then they're the furthest away from achieving it. And it's really about the status of white womanhood. That's why the myth of white womanhood. That's why they always have some insane fanatical where white women are not this and white women aren't told to settle and white women are not. Da, 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 da. Who are y'all talking about? Oh, you mean Karen? Oh, you want to be Karen because you're not talking about Roseanne. You're not talking about the average white woman. You're not talking about Peg Bundy, right? You're talking about Homegirl from Clueless. You're talking about Julia Roberts from Pretty Woman. That's what you're talking about. Oh, okay. You're talking about living the Sex in the City life, right? The average Latina ain't living no. I reminded y'all what this morning I think it was the conversation with Sonny Holston and the rest of the cast of The View speaking about Ebony K. Williams. Sonny Holston just couldn't hear what none of those women were saying. Different type of white women from different backgrounds. The Latina from down here in South Florida, she couldn't hear it. Because black women think that defecating on black men in public is going to make men move and turn white black women into white women. They hide behind this generational wealth talk. They hide behind this we're outpacing our men talk, but really it's will you just make me an upper middle class white woman because the white man not doing it. I really want the white man to do it, but I'm stuck with you, so can you do it? The white men are not doing it in significant enough numbers, so can you do it? And I'm gonna over romanticize what the average white woman is living. And you tie that to Miss May, and you get the type of answer she was given. I said it already. They want feminism and patriarchy simultaneously, and it's not working. And they're bashing their heads against the wall because it's not working, and it's never going to work. FD got that one up on me because I didn't understand what he was saying with the chivalry thing. No, hell no. Wait, provide chivalry for the matriarchy? How that's supposed to wait a what? Oh, shout out to Nameless, wherever you are. And there go the hive model. There goes the hive model. The worker bee, the drone bee, and there you go. The reproducing bee, right? Just call that the buck. Some type of weird hybrid thing they want to put on. The myth of white womanhood off of black men's dime, led by black women. What? And Gilgami said, I once said, and thank you for the super chat. Gilgami says, I once said, only your allies can become your traitors. So either people betray you or they weren't your allies to begin with. Black women have their own interest. And that's all it is. And let's say it again then. Black women want their independence. Her words. Black we do have control issues. Her words, right? Black men are not seen as the priority because it's working for black women. Her words. Thank you very much, Miss May, for this conversation. For any new, because we already know what this is, but for all anyone that's recently entering the Black manosphere, anyone that wants to know why Black men sound the way they do, direct them to this conversation. Masterful job by BGS once again, right? It was very important that she say what she said, how she said it. As I said before, for Mr. Z, the antagonize was the thing, because once I heard, I was like, oh, Kim Foster. Who let Kim from Fort Harriet come out? But for the larger Black manosphere and the larger discourse, this larger conversation that we having, I think the more important quotes for everyone else is Black women want their independence. We do have control issues, right? And the very most important one, black men are not seen as the priority because it's working for Black women. That right there is the quote. Yes, no placeholder, exactly. And thank you for the super chat. And no placeholder says independent from Black men, to be precise. Exactly. Exactly. Right? Compassionate. Thank you. And I actually want to bring in something I've been thinking about with the video I've reviewed twice now with Real Talk with Yanni when she says Black men don't want to compromise or something like that. And what would that compromise look like? You said you want to be a Black woman of leisure. You make six figures. What would that compromise look like? And Compassionate says that was what the table talk would actually look like, right? And exactly. If okay, fine, Black men and Black women are on the table. Black women will concede nothing and ask for everything. What you hear the sergeants and all those other military leaders say, leave them nothing. Right? And there you go. Y'all realize that we're in stagflation, greedflation? I go through the numbers all the time. 430 something $1,000 new home prices. Let's just say 450. 48, $50,000 new car prices. What they said the average, was it the average or the median monthly payment for a car right now is $750, right? These women are feeling it, and yet they still try to keep a stiff upper lip. They feeling this hurt financially, right? They're feeling this hurt financially, and they're living vicariously through. That's why you saw so many of them rally behind Ebony K. Williams. That's why Yanni could have a whole series about decentering men and being celibate, and you see so many women straight up selling you, I haven't had sex in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 17 years, 20 years. And the sex is not just the sex, it's the intimacy and partnering with the man and get on a man's program. And they telling you, yeah, I'd rather not have sex for 15 years than get on your program. And there's nothing wrong with that. But like I said before, as this, y'all better hope, even for our sake as men, by the way, even as for our sake as Black men, y'all better hope they really don't drop that dollar. Y'all better hope this really doesn't turn into a gig economy for real, for real. Y'all better hope there's a soft landing for this upcoming automation and AI learning. Because dear women, black women, Western women, black women, modern women, black women, yes, men are gonna feel it. And this ties into the quote that I keep on saying about how black men lose the gender war, black women lose it harder though. Black men are gonna feel it. I want everybody, dear brothers. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Y'all know Mr. Z is not does not blow smoke up even up our own asses. Black men are gonna feel that. Oh, we're gonna feel it. We're gonna feel that. But it's going to devastate women because y'all really don't appreciate how much the state props y'all up. It's your biggest Achilles heel. Is you don't understand how much the state and societal mechanisms prop y'all up. You don't appreciate it. And this is my point exactly. Excalibur, winners coming for everybody. Right? Men that are not prepared are gonna feel this. Right? But women, over the past few decades, you had the luxury of not being with the man. The luxury of not being partnered. And when I say partner, I mean with a man. You had the luxury. What I'm estimating is that door, that window is closing. That was part of my argument when I spoke of the rise of the aristocracy, right? With this upcoming wealth transfer. Dear women, if wealthier people, upper middle class people are more likely to get married and stay married, do you understand with their combined fortune? It's crushing you now. When Brad marries Anne and they both have inheritance from their parents of $250,000, of $500,000, of even $100,000, I'm sorry, $250,000 of, yeah, I said $500,000, even $75,000 each, $100,000 each. Do you understand what that means for you competing against her? You can't compete against Anne now. What about when she's married and her inheritance came through and then her husband's inheritance came through? Now what? You're dying under the weight of Karen now. They're going to be the ones who define the prices of things because they can afford it. That's what Tone Talks and Yvette is trying to tell y'all. The market will adjust to how much they can afford. Do you know what that means for you? And you think you're going to be able to afford to be single, sticking your middle finger up at black men because they're air quotes average? Let's say the quote again. Black women want their independence, right? And Lithium says, don't forget Uncle Duck Dynasty cop pension. Bruh, they all those low level, high level, low key, high key, secretly high key, white supremacists all through, like you said, those police officers, that's gonna be, baby boomer police officers, firefighters, paramedics, who've been paying into their 401k and pension for forever. They didn't take all of it. They left it to their wife. Now their wife, they passed away. Their wife is gonna move in with one of the kids and split that money. In vivo transfer. Do y'all ready for that? Those boomers only had two kids, a son and a daughter. Dad died last year. That life insurance was $1 million policy. She moving in with her daughter. She's splitting the money. She's gonna take a good $200,000, and then she's gonna give both of the kids 400,000. After taxes, it's really not that, but y'all get Mr. Z's math. He had a $1.5 million policy. Son, stupid. And you think your 80 grand a year is gonna do what? Right? And Michael Ross, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. And that's the environment we're living in, where black women want their independence, right? That's the environment. Let's see when that money really starts flowing down. Let's see how many black women are actually saying black men are not seen as the priority because it's working for black women. Will it be working for black women then? It's not working for black women now. Will it be working for black women then? Right? Oh, good point. No placeholder. And thank you for the super chat. No placeholder. This is black women like their independence from black men, not want. In other words, they don't want their independence. They like their independence from black men. They're already there. I get you. Right? Their egos won't let them. Not for the masses. For some, I agree with you. I think a minority of black women are feeling the pinch like, oh crap, I need to hurry up and, you know, get down with a man's program, with any man's program, but definitely a black man's program. And I'm responding back to Compassionate and Callous, and Compassionate says the best thing they can hope for is that most black men have no clue what they really think, and they suddenly start treating the average black man like a king, and all this gets swept under the rug. I think for a super small handful, they'll get down with a black man's program, even a black man that earns less than them. I think so, right? I think so. But for the vast majority of them, their ego, I don't think their this is my Mr. Z speculation, right? I don't think their egos. Before we even get to ego, let's rewind. Let's rewind. Let's rewind. Let's be honest. Let's take our black men's feelings out of it and what. I don't even think most of them even know what's coming down the pike. They're not paying attention enough. They feel the pinch of stagflation and of greedflation. They feel that, but they don't really appreciate what's going on. They feel it, but they don't really appreciate it, and they don't have the foresight to understand that this is going to be like a wave, a flood, just unrelenting flood, right? Like there's a lot that can be taken from the submersible, right? That water pressure that just crushed it. That's what we're telling for those of us that say winter is coming. That's what we're telling the rest of the black community, particularly black women. You can only go so deep in that water. That pressure is going to crush you. And I want to be very clear. Mr. Z does a whole lot of SBEing, but I don't beg. Mr. Z does a whole lot of SBEing, but I don't beg. I'm telling black women what it's going to be. I'm not begging you to be here. And whoever isn't on this boat when it starts selling, Sink and drown and die then. When we jump on this little lifeboat and we gone, that's it. Whoever's on the lifeboat is on the lifeboat. And what does the lifeboat look like in real life? Let's not use just examples and analogies. Lifeboat in real life look like the black people that's actually keeping their head above water. And if above water is a black man that earns 50 grand a year, so be it. And he's married to a black woman that earns 45, 50, also 35, so be it. And it won't just be the money. It's that brother knowing how to defend himself and his family, bearing arms, knowing a bit enough about how to fish or how to kill some type of live animal. It's also the network. This is where Kevin Samuels come in about your network. This is where Obsidian come in about your network. What does being on that lifeboat look like in real life? It looked like somebody that's knowledgeable and that's prepared, that know how to change a goddamn tire, change some brakes, right? That know how to maybe cook something up, because automation is going to turn this gap into a chasm, right? What does the boat look like? It looks like the mental stability of having another person to run ideas by. It looks like the emotional stability keeping you from crying yourself to sleep at night in your old room that you used to be in at your parents' house. Ooh, goddamn, Mr. Z. It looks like you not relying on that rose toy, right? What does that lifeboat look like? It looks like you not having to freeze your eggs, and that's for the ones that can afford it. It's those of it. You know what the lifeboat looks like? It looks like women not lying and saying, "Oh, I don't want to have children." Yeah, that's it. Instead of admitting that they're insufferable a-holes and that they can't meet or keep meet, get or keep a man that wants to have children with them. That's what the lifeboat looks like. The lifeboat looks like stability all the way up to upper middle class and maybe even rich. That's what the lifeboat looks like. And it's not just money. It's the network. It's being tapped in. It's being tapped into the black community. It's not out here being thinking you a shark and really you a guppy. Ebony K. Williams, right? That's what it looks like. We use the Titanic reference all the time. That lifeboat, that's what it looks like. Some type of stability, a modicum of stability at worst, instead of being in that freezing water and dying. And the stability is mental, emotional, economic, or financial, better yet. It's social. All of y'all talking about, oh, all these black men don't have any friends. All these black men don't have any friends. Y'all got friends? Wait, they said the atomization of society. The society's being atomized, not just men, not just black men. Yanni over here complaining about losing her friends now. Uh-oh. Who was it? The older black woman, I can't remember, who had the divester panel, and half the panel was saying, "Yeah, when we say divest, we don't just mean from black men, the entire black community." So y'all admit, and they're telling you they don't talk to their family now. They're saying it. They don't have black. They don't chill with their old homegirls from the neighborhood anymore now. So black men are the only ones that's out here atomized. Men, stop it. When I say frenemies, I know what I'm saying. I keep on asking y'all, how many black women y'all know got friends for 20 years, 15 years, 25, 30 years? They talk about black men not getting along and fighting and being atomized and all this, the reports of so much single men, right? Lonely men. Ladies, y'all wanna be honest and say y'all kind of in the same boat, if not in the worst boat? No? Okay, all right. And yeah, I mentioned this also earlier. Compassionate. Compassionate says, notice during BGS talk, she projected evil onto every culture of women around the world just to justify them being, quote unquote, honestly evil. Like what? WTF? Yeah, I mentioned that. I mentioned that earlier, right? And she brought up Shira Seven. Yeah, I know. Shira Seven treating them how to be fake, just like how y'all want, right? Exactly, lithium. Khadijah laughing at lonely men, right? But Khadijah over here with her gay homeboy over here trying to get black men to open up their I guess what they see as straight or heterosexual or whatever the hell you want to call it, and then getting black women to be open to bisexual black men. What? Right? Right? So yeah, y'all look, okay. All right, everybody. I'm about to wrap up in a minute. Look, very important that we take these opportunities and study them. What BGS just shows y'all was a masterclass in deciphering what they're actually saying. It is funny because he said it in the beginning of the conversation, and then he showed you it throughout the conversation. I don't even know real. I don't know if the young lady realizes it. He said, but he said 30 minutes. It took longer than 30 minutes to get through some of that emotion. But he said it. He was saying it to Charles, right? He said they start off with emotion, and then you got to walk them into logic, and we start to logic, and then you got to walk us to the emotion, and then he exhibited that, slowly walking her to the logical space where she had to admit, yeah, we just want our independence, and and it's working for us, so we don't really care what happens to black men. Could he have gotten her to say that when she first jumped on? No, because she was using everybody else speaking to her as a reason not to answer the question.
so BGS dropped everyone down and gave her no excuses, and then he can slowly start walking her down. Right? It was very important. This conversation was supremely important so that y'all could see what it really is. By the way, we kind of saw Obsidian do the same thing with Homegirl from what is it, Rolling Stone? That's why they don't talk to us. That's why they don't come over here. They, as BGS and Miss May admitted, they think they're better than us. They don't want to come over here and feel further antagonized. Air quotes antagonized, right? They don't want to have an honest conversation, so they stay where they are. Over there talking crap about black men all day, every day. Right? And AB says, notice she didn't answer my question. I asked her, have you heard of Daughters of the Trade? No, she never did. And you mentioned it before you left. You mentioned it before you left. I heard it. Right? Very important conversation, y'all. And no placeholder says, and thank you for the super chat. She got owned by the master teacher, smartest, huh? Look, nah, you got even degreed people that yeah, they couldn't handle BGS. I'll give her a pass on that one. That one, yeah, no. Right? What y'all look, man, y'all think okay, fine. Y'all think Kim Foster could have a real conversation with BGS? And she got a master's degree. I'm not a master's, I'm sorry. She attended Harvard. My apologies. Harvard, right? All that feminist theory would melt away because Kim Foster know the real. Nappy headed Hoba, Julesy, T Noir, which one of them? Because none of them want to own the fact that the women want to run this. They just hate the way it look. They want they run it. They want to continue running it, and they look. Donovan did admitted that this is a matriarchy. Donovan from the Grapevine, FD Signifier did admitted that this is a matriarchy. This young lady, Miss May, master's degree, did admitted this is a matriarchy. We know what this is, right? So I'll give her some grace on that because most of these people couldn't have no conversation with BGS, degreed up or not, because he would expose that they know. Here's the thing: it's better that BGS have conversations with women like this than even a Kim Foster, because her whole thing falls apart once BGS pretty much says, "So y'all, this is the matriarchy, right?" Okay. So what's actually the problem here? Eventually we get to the problem. Eventually we get to the place where y'all just admit y'all problem with black men is they just don't want to bow down. Eventually we get there. That's why Chrissy won't speak to BGS. That's why Kim Foster won't speak to Obsidian or BGS. That's why FD was acting the way he did when BGS got on. When Ed, thank you, Ed, once again. That's why I slipped up, and I'm so happy you came through and when Ed finally got and it didn't take a lot of work, but when Ed got why am I slipping on the FD signifier to just say straight up say like, yeah, female leadership.
That's what this is. It was done. It's done. It's done. Meanwhile, FD making good YouTube money now, and guess what? His wife don't work anymore. She used to be the primary breadwinner. Guess what? So FD gets to enjoy nuclear family, kids born in wedlock, wife not working now, and the rest of us gotta do what? Deal with the Yannis, deal with the Cynthia G's, deal with the Chrissies, deal with the Kim Fosters. You get to enjoy nice nuclear families, and the rest of us got to be out here with the a-hole, entitled, condescending, mean, snarky women that everybody keep on calling masculine. They're not masculine. They're childish. They're petulant children. They're throwing a temper tantrum. That's not masculine. So no place for other. I give Miss May some grace. I gave her some grace. She even admitted, excuse me, that she was trolling BGS. She admitted that that's what she was doing in the beginning. And shout out to BGS for having that conversation with her and slowly walking her down. And now we're here now. What's going on, Dre? Gil Gabby said verbal circumnavigation. Right. And that's all. Look, important conversation. These conversations are important to Mr. Z because it shows that, and it's the same type of conversation with the ladies from the breakdown. This is what it is. Crystalline Kerosene admitting that black women won't even lose weight for the white guys that they keep on throwing in black men's face. Don't let that don't let that one slide, right? All of these people that when they have these conversations with the brothers in the black manosphere, they start giving up the game. And that's why I tell you, brothers, don't engage in these conversations with these women if you're not ready. It's okay to let another brother that's a little bit more seasoned have that conversation with the ladies because you can see what the seasoned brothers do, right? Obsidian with the young lady at Rolling Stone, BGS with May, BGS with the ladies on the breakdown, right? Y'all could see Mr. Z comments with NM Hawkins and other people, other women, right? When they enter our spaces because they think we're big, dumb, sexist, INCELSs, right? They keep on telling themselves, "Oh yeah, they just colorist, sexist, mean, and they just mad they can't get the girl." They think that we're the ones that's mad we can't get the girls we want. Where's Charles at? Black men are the trash men of the dating world. Not hideous, wet hole, not oompa loompa, and most black men are good to go. Don't be an a hole. Don't be a oompa loompa. And most black men are good to go. That lets you know, once again, that lets you know how insufferable y'all are. Dear Chrissy, no, we're not the insufferable ones. The marriage rate shows that. Uh-oh. We're not the ones who's insufferable. You might want to say that again. You might want to revise that and say what you said directed the other direction. And AB said, wait, they won't lose Z. Wait, they won't lose weight for Zaddy? Lord, it's worse than I thought. No, bro. No, no. Right. And here you go. And Oliver said AB, when she said fat Brazilian women, I was like, "Ke? Look, okay, yeah, there's fat. First of all, it's a whole damn country. But okay, fine. There's fat Brazilian women. Are they married? Some are, some aren't. The ones that are married, are they a-holes and fat? Probably not. Okay, fine. I know I have this weight on me. Let me not be a complete insufferable a-hole. That way I can get a man and keep him. Black women want to be mean. Wait. Let's start with the weight. They want to be heavy, then mean, then insufferable, then catty, then condescending, then insulting, and then chastise you because you rather not engage with them. What? And then tell you how other women are fat. When y'all date the fat white girl, is the fat white girl an a-hole? The fat white girl paying how she weigh. Is the fat white girl an a-hole? Does the fat white girl treat him like she won the lottery? Or does she just treat him like just another inward? Right? And yeah, she did call us INCLS. Yeah, I caught it. And Michael Ross says that one, that one of the first things that Goofy said, that we're all incels. Oh, I said it. God damn, I said it. God, you got me, Michael Ross. I was trying not to say the word the whole time. I did it, but nah. And right under 2 hours, almost made it. CZ lost your discipline right there, right? But yeah. So yeah, I mean, of course she did. And by the way, Mike Ross, she didn't even know the definition. She didn't even know that it's two words made into one, and she doesn't even know what it means. That was the thing. Okay, fine, you levy that insult, which by the way is inaccurate, but fine, okay, cool. You trolling, you levied the insult, you didn't even know the definition. That was the thing. You did. I'm so, shout out to BGS. What does it mean? Exactly. Right. Exactly. And so yeah, Oliver the Great. Yeah, when she said fat Brazilian women, but okay, fine. Fat Brazilian women that cook, that believe in the divine order. That's not an a-hole. And the ones that are, guess what? What y'all don't think there's single baby mamas in Brazil? There's a whole lot of them. A whole lot. I guarantee you, if y'all understood Portuguese, they probably sound just like the sisters over here. That's why they're in the position they're in. Uh-oh. Right? Shout out to BGS again for asking her what was the rate of birth out of wedlock in the Latina community. It's over 50%. She didn't know that. Fastest growing rate amongst white women. And no, it's not black men making them that. It's white men. Tangle of pathology. See, y'all should have helped black people fix black people. And then here's the thing, it spread to upper middle class black people and then to rich black people. And now it's everywhere. Welcome to hell. Now you got Jennifer Aniston trying to have kids last minute. Now you have, all these weirdo white women doing the actually in many ways sometimes outdoing sisters in the insanity, right? The Latinas with the insane out of wedlock birth rate, right behind black women. And this is where passport bros come in and say, see, and that's why I'm leaving the whole goddamn area. I don't even want to screw America. I don't even want to be in the West. Passport bro said, I don't even want to be in the Western world. Screw that. I'm going to the global south. I'm going anywhere but here. Lucky we can't procreate with the aliens. I would have been out over there. Right? AB said, I know fat black women who can't cook. Make that make sense. It look, bro. It's part of their freedom. We learn how to cook for what? For who? Right? They ain't gonna be cooking for you. They don't cook for themselves. Cook for who? They don't cook for the kids. Cooking sounds too much like traditional feminine behavior, and I don't want to engage in that. Sounds too domestic. Ew. Sounds too ladylike. Sounds oppressive, right? Sounds too close to barefoot and pregnant. Yeah, nope. How about you cook and make me a sandwich? No, I'm saying that's black women saying that to black men. Come here, give me cunnilingus, and I'm gonna slap you on the butt, and you gonna make me a sandwich. Yeah. Dear white men and Latino men, welcome to hell. Asian men, eh, let's see where the clock at. Maybe you got another decade or two. You'll be here too. Welcome to hell. You should have looked out for black men and black people when you had the chance. Now it's visited upon your community, right? And Oliver the Gray said, full of ish like crap, right? And yeah, she was on that, of course, Oliver the Gray said, still thirst trapping at 50. But yeah, I mean, like, Tracy Ellis Ross, anyone? Right? Of course, thirst trapping at 50, of course. Right? Yeah, no, okay, you guys. All right, we're at the 2 hour mark. Ugh, Mr. Z been talking for 2 hours, but it was really good. That was a really good conversation. Shout out to BGS. Shout out to Miss May for having the courage to actually speak to BGS, and jumping on the panel, and you know, we'll give her a couple of points for actually coming up and airing her grievances, and her issues, and definitely shout out to BGS for masterful job. For those of you that the link is already in the description, just click the link in the description box. It'll bring you right to the video. um I say listen to the whole thing. I didn't timestamp when she got on because I was listening to it live. um you know yeah, so it was a great conversation. um it's for those of us old heads that have been around, she ain't gonna say anything that we didn't already know. She ain't gonna say anything necessarily revelatory or that we haven't heard other black women that enter this space say, but it's still good to hear it from another black woman, right? And for those of you brothers that have been that are more recent to the Black Manosphere, listen to it so you can actually hear what you're up against. Um, for my Gen Z that might be listening to it, listen to it so you can hear what you're actually up against. And that doesn't mean you hate black women, but it does mean that you stay away from the ones that may sound like this. Even though this young lady's married, apparently, and has a kid and has a master's degree. Okay. Um, but yeah, right. So at the end of the day, I think black men need to find the best women for them. I prefer black women, right? Um, because I do think this mentality is spreading. And so even I said it before, and a lot of brothers jumped on me. Not a lot. Let me take that back. Let me stop exaggerating. Certain brothers jumped on me when I said this a couple years ago. And for some of you, y'all might remember me saying this when I was like, and I was on the Roger Report channel. I was like, "Hey, we only got a couple decades of this maybe left. Even SYSB, excuse me, not SYSBM, even Passport Bros ain't gonna have a leg to stand on in a couple decades because this is spreading like wildfire. Maybe we're safe, maybe our sons, but not our grandsons. Nah. If the world continues on this path and the whole world doesn't explode or we don't nuke ourselves to death, yeah. If they don't reel this back, this this plantation politics gone global. Shout out to the nameless protagonist. That's it, right? The white penis reigns supreme. Baby mamaism all over the place. Mainly only the elites get married and stay married, right? There you go. You see what I'm saying? Oliver the Gray said the master class was free. And Oliver the Gray said it was snapped back fast with some baby powder in hand. Hysterical. You feel me? And Eric Denman says, Z, even the colonizer are tired of this feminism shite, right? Yeah. Well, because it's biting their sons in the butt. What's funnier than a middle-aged white male judge being in divorce court getting ripped to shreds? What's funnier than that? Or his son getting stuck with some weirdo baby mama? What's funnier than that? Right? It's biting them in the butt. So yeah, I agree with you, Eric. 100%. because it's biting them in the butt. They're getting ran through also. Their friends who are paramedics and doctors and attorneys and police officers are getting ran. They're going through it also. Their sons have horror stories also. Their nephews, they're telling them to, hey, I went on a foodie call. Right? I'm hearing from my friend who's piping her friend that she never liked me really is because I wanted to go to this restaurant and she wanted to go for the first time. Right? Oh yeah, it gets real ugly. So yeah, they going through it also. What's funnier than that? Upper middle class white men going through it, looking down their noses at you, and then their wife rips them apart. Right? So at the end of the day, this conversation was great. It needed to happen. Just as a refresher course. Every once in a while, we'll get these refresher courses, and it'll be a new woman that jumps on a panel or that's in somebody's chat, and then they'll remind you why we do what we do and why we sound how we sound. Right? Every once in a while, it'll be a a male feminist that jumps on a panel and gives up the game, gives up the ghost. Right? Shout out to Busy Bone and Immature, right? Gives up the ghost and straight, yeah, so it's a matriarchy, and then tries to get you to accept it and shame you into staying in the black community, paying for women to dictate to you. Where they do that at? Right? And so on that note, everybody, we're end out right. Oh wow, Mrs. Z pressing the mute button right now. Um, you know, love, peace, and chicken grease. We'll pause right here. Y'all have a great rest of y'all night. I'm almost certain somebody else is streaming. Um, y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. And we definitely, I might do a stream Sunday morning, of if not Saturday night, and we'll definitely, mention this, and we could talk about this also. You know, like I said, I'm gonna try to do those short, maybe hour and a half, um, you know, maybe at max 2 hours, but hour and a half streams on panel streams on Saturday nights. I might replace my Sunday mornings with Saturday nights. We'll see. I don't think I'm stepping on Art of Immore's toes. You know, actually, I got to coordinate with Art of Immore and see if I'm stepping on his toes for those Saturday nights. We'll see. Um, yeah. So we'll truly pause right there. Y'all have a great rest of your night. Thanks for being in here with Mr. Z. And we will be doing our 2,000 subscriber celebration thingy majigger. Yes, I saw I went over 2,000, of course, right? Um, and yeah, and so y'all don't let BGS know, but the skinny jean picture is actually coming, right? I got to get my beard tape. I'm not gonna show my face, but like the angle I want to take the picture at, y'all gonna be able to see the beard, so I got to get the beard taped up, and you know, yeah. All right, y'all. So yeah, um, and we'll just pause right there. Y'all have a great rest of y'all night. Like I said, go check out other Black Manosphere content. For the love of God, check out non-Manosphere content so that y'all can have a more worldly understanding of this stuff. That's why I share what I share in my community tab. Um, you know, not all the people I agree with, not all the channels I agree with, but information is important. So there you go. And all right, everybody, y'all have a great rest of y'all night. Mr. Z out.